Blam!
Death cakes.
Hey guys, Jackson here, and I'm starting a new series here where I take a look at some of the books here that I have, in our collection back here and over here as well. And I'd like to do a little review for each of them and kind of tell you guys what I liked about them, because some of them are some of my favorite ones and some of them are not so good. Some of them are there because they look good on a shelf. So I'm going to be looking at them here, and my cat Rose is going to be joining me here, aren't you, buddy? No, she's not. She's getting out of here. Yeah, but yeah, I'd like to go ahead and take a look at some of these books and do some reviews. So this week, I took a couple of the books from back here, and our theme is going to be sort of cosmic style here. So the first one we've got here is Silver Surfer Requiem, which was written by J. Michael Straczynski, and it was drawn by, get the artist here, get his name right, it's Esad Rybick. It's some actually really nice kind of Alex Ross style painted pages here. But this story is, it's kind of like the last Silver Surfer story. You know, Silver Surfer has kind of contracted some sort of kind of cosmic cancer, and he knows that he's only got this certain amount of time to live, and he's kind of going through, putting all his ducks in a row, saving some last people, using his power cosmic to try and make the world and Earth a better place. And it's just really good. I mean, Straczynski, if you haven't read Straczynski's work, anything by him is generally pretty good. He writes some really great, inspiring speeches, and this is actually just a really good Silver Surfer story. I'd say the best Silver Surfer story that I've ever read. The next one here is a big, nice-looking book, Infinity War, which you guys probably know from, that's what the Marvel Avengers 3 movie is going to be called here, Avengers 3 Infinity War. I assume that it's going to be based more on the Infinity Gauntlet storyline than this one. Because to be honest, even though this one does feature, as you see on the back here, one of my favorite villains, which is based off of mostly potential. He's an evil version of Adam Warlock. It's not very good. It kind of plays with some of the same things as Infinity Gauntlet does, you know, by putting all the Avengers together and all of the superheroes in the Marvel Universe here to fight this common threat again. But it goes a little too off the path. It gets a little weird. The only thing that's really redeemable without it here is, like any Starlin story, you know, there's some great Thanos storylines in here, and Thanos is really the best character in this, and you really get to see him shine in this here, but I don't think it's worth reading this whole thing for it here, because it's just not that great. Next up, we've got another Thanos story here, a better Thanos story. This is the Thanos Imperative. You know, I love that font up here. That's a really nice looking logo for a book here. And you know, the covers for a lot of these Guardians of the Galaxy books here are really good. But this is kind of the penultimate story of that whole Guardians of the Galaxy and Nova series, where everything kind of comes to a close and comes to a head, where Thanos comes back to take on the Cancerverse. It's a universe where no one ever dies, and they try and break into our universe here and spread their cancer in our universe here. And who better to take down this world where no one ever dies than the avatar of death himself, Thanos. So it's one of those rare stories where Thanos is kind of the good guy here. It's kind of one of those kind of pitch black situations here where the heroes kind of have to trust this, you know, shady criminal-like figure, because he's the only one who can really save the day. This is actually written by Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning here. Their Nova run was just incredible. I was a little disappointed in their Guardians of the Galaxy here, but their Nova run is just it is just great. And it made me laugh, it made me cry. It's one of the best comic book runs that I've ever read. But this Thanos Imperative here, they do a good job at writing Thanos. They're not quite as good as I would say like Keith Giffen or Jim Starlin. Obviously, those two write a great Thanos here, but these guys write a really good Thanos as well. They are third in line after those two here. So I think that this is one of the all-time best Thanos stories, one of the all-time best cosmic stories here. The next one up here is one of my favorite books, because it's just such a surprise. I was always a little bit interested in Beta Ray Bill here. This is Stormbreaker, the Saga of Beta Ray Bill. As a kid, he was always kind of interesting to me. I mean, he's a horse with the powers of Thor. And, it was always kind of interesting here, but he never had, like, a really great story. We never really knew what his deal was. But this book just kind of comes out of nowhere, and it is utterly amazing. It is about Beta Ray Bill, who is an alien from this planet who, has had adventures with Thor. He's got his own type of Thor-like hammer, and this is about him going back to his home planet. And they do, a little story that kind of deals with how the people on his home planet view him as like, he's their only hero, things like that. But then they deal with what happens when Galactus comes to their planet. How was Beta Ray Bill going to be able to stop Galactus from destroying his planet? I mean, he can't go get Thor. He can't get the Avengers. He's got to do it himself. He is the only hero on this planet, and he just fights an unwinnable battle. It is just heartbreaking watching him fight and scrap and try to save his people, do whatever he can and try and save them in the wake of utter destruction by Galactus. It is a great story here, written by... You agree? Michael Avon Oeming, and the artist is Andrea DeVito, which Andrea DeVito is one of my favorite cosmic artists here. I believe he did Annihilation as well, but yeah, some of these panels are just great. He's got a really nice, clean, cool-looking style here, and this was just a beautiful, great story. But hey, those are my books here. Those are my reviews of these things. I think anybody out there should definitely pick out, Stormbreaker, the Thanos Imperative, and Silver Surfer Requiem. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe. And I've been Jackson, and this has been Blam Death Cakes. It's just funner watching it on the VHS, But anyways, who cares, It's like you said, they fall, and, I'll just pick them right back up. It's like I said, not like a DVD. These things are strong. It doesn't matter where they fall all over me here. It kind of hurts, but, it's fine. It's fine. But